I remember when I went off to university, my brother-in-law dropped me off. My mum came up with me, and she was leaving, and she was sort of crying, and I was making up. I was pretending to be really sort of sad and winding up, right? And then I thought, oh, I better call her up. She said, call me, right? So I think I waited to the following Sunday. It'd been about a week, right? And I called her up, and I couldn't just call her up. I suppose I had to be ironic because I was probably embarrassed about calling my mum. Like, I wanted to speak to her too. So I just called her up, and she went, hello. I went, Mum? She went, yeah? I went, it's Ricky. She went, what's the matter? I said, I think I'm blind. She went, what? I went, no, how's it going? She went, you silly bleeder, I nearly had a heart attack.
That's great.
So if you want to spice up calls to your mum, pretend you've had a terrible accident and that you're blind.
I like it when I phone my gran, and the only other people that ever phone my gran is me, my sister, or my parents. No one else ever calls. And every time she picks up, she goes, hello? Like, it could be a monster that's going to come through the phone line. But also, it's like she's never... Like, each time she hears it ring, it surprises her. Like, there's a noise in the house, and she wanders around and she finds an object that's ringing. And she doesn't know what it is, and she sort of hits buttons until... Hello?
Well, she's tried 3 already.
But what annoys me is I'll say, hello, Gran, and she'll go, who's that? Oh, come on! You must recognise me by now. I'm the only person who calls, except about 3 other people.
I'm not the girl.
Yeah, exactly. And my granddad, she's had this for years. It's not just as she gets up. She'll go through all of the family's name until she gets to me.
Oh, mine not used to do that. Mine not used to do that.
So she knows it's me, but she'll go, hello, Ron, Elaine, Alex, Steve.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But it's the same with each member of whichever one of us she's talking to.
Always last.
It's always last.
Yeah. Oh, dear. So you've spoken to your mum and dad, you've changed the tiles, you've had lunch, the telly's not on.
Suzanne comes in, you've made her dinner?
No.
Right.
What happens there? Now, what happens there?
What time does she get in?
You've done all this by about 4 or 5, have you?
Well, I'm tidying up. I normally keep my eye on the clock. Like to give myself like 40 odd minutes to clean up.
Right.
Kitchen's all clean, ready for us to make the tea.
Ready for her to make the tea, even though I know you've been tiling, but that was a job you gave yourself. You didn't have to do it.
No, but I don't do cooking. She knows that. This isn't even a discussion.
Right.
She knows. Like today, I've got to get some thin chips, so I'll do that.
You mean fries?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's frozen in the bag or whatever.
Yeah. I've got to get some of them.
And what are you having? What are you having tonight?
Scampi.
So that's shop bought scampi. Just what do you do? Just
I don't know. She
deep
just
fry
it. I don't know. I think it's just chuck it in the oven.
Yeah.
So she'll do all that. I'll eat it.
And sorry, let me just rewind for a second.
I'll eat it. He's listing it in his day's work. I'll eat it. I say, I've eaten that. She goes, thank you. You go, oven.
Do you ask her how her day's been? I'm just interested when she comes in,
Definitely not.
She's had a busy
Definitely
day.
not.
She's, listen, don't jump to conclusions, Rick, alright? Okay, so she comes in.
Okay, let's act it out.
Yeah.
Okay, you've just cleaned up, right? The last bit there, you look back, them tiles look good. You look at the clock. Oh, what time is it? She usually comes through the door.
Don't know. It can change. She calls and warns me.
Right. Let's go through. Take me through it, okay? The end of the day.
Right. Vacuuming up, cleaning up all the mess. Phone's going. Who's that? Suzanne. All right. Yeah. Coming home. All right then. See you in a bit. She'll go. I'll put the kettle on, or at least fill it ready. Because she normally calls again.
What do you mean? She calls again? What?
She calls again when she's out the tube.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. What's going on?
All right. You out the tube? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah. All right. See you in a minute. Flick the kettle on. Get the tea bags out. Make a cup of tea.
Milk.
Bit of milk.
Sugar?
Sometimes I'll say, get us a little treat when you come out the tube.
Yeah.
So she'll get me, a bounty or something to go with a cup of tea.
Nice.
She'll come in.
Before your tea, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's going to be another 40 odd minutes.
So you have a bounty before you have a meal?
Not every day, just sometimes. If I've got a sugar low, I've got a touch of diabetes.
No, you haven't.
I have. I feel like a bit shaky.
Oh, so
sometimes.
you just made that up. So
Yeah.
you have got no evidence whether you got diabetes
Well, I haven't
or
got
not.
evidence of it, but I think I
No,
have.
so there's no evidence, but let's believe in it anyway.
Right, well, I have a bounty. That normally sorts it out. To me, that's a sign of diabetes. Otherwise, what's wrong with me? So,
You're just a greedy fucker.
no, I'm telling you, I sometimes need it. I get a proper urge for a Mars bar. I go, I've got to have one
What's your
now.
bounty for then?
No, just to mix it up because I get sick of Mars bars.
Do you? Well, when you say get me a bounty, have you got an urge for a bounty then or a Mars bar?
Well, it's just that they're both quite equal in sugar content.
Yeah, but just,
Bounties, there's a lot of that.
do you
coconut.
specify then when you say get me a treat? She says, well, what?
I
Sometimes you
don't-
have a Mars bar, sometimes you have a bounty.
No, that's enough for me. I'll go when she comes in. It's a talking topic, innit? What have you got me?
Topic. Sometimes gets you a topic.
You know, it's something to chat about, innit?
Right. Okay.
Got your bounty.
Something to chat about.
So, has there ever been a time? Sorry, I just got to get this straight, Steve.
Sorry, Rick, I just wanted to say, could you imagine you and I having a conversation about what chocolate bar you have brought me? What'd you get me, Rick?
Got your bounty. Is that all right?
Thanks, mate. That's as long as that conversation can possibly
Yeah,
go.
that is
You're
it.
talking about it as a talking point.
Yeah, so what happens? So what's the last time there was a discussion about what she bought you? Did she ever bring you a bounty and you go, oh, I was really hoping for a Mars bar?
I think the last time she got a bounty, I sort of said, "Oh, they do a 3-pack now." Do you know how they just have 2 bars? They do a 3 one.
Right, what did she say?
She said, "Did they?" Did
She said, I want out of this relationship.
No, but that's how a chat starts, and they'll go, "Yeah, that's why there's fatter people now. Everything's in bigger amounts, innit? It used to just be 1, like a Milky Way. Now you can get a 3-pack, and then they're saying, "Oh, there's fat people," because that's the thing. She's sort of been talking to people all day. I've been tiling, listening to the radio, hearing reports of obesity. So this is a chance for me to tell her what I've learned in a way.
Right.
So I'll empty what
I bet
I've
she
learned.
loves coming through that door.
When she comes through, take her coat off, I'll go, "Oh," she'll go, "What, are we having scampi still, or have you gone off the idea?" And then I'll go, "Oh, you know, we should get them tablets my mum's been talking about." She goes, "What tablets?" I go, "The food." So see how it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and that's
What does
we
she
do.
say to the idea of now living on tablets instead of having some scampi and chips when she comes home after a hard day's work? What does
She
she say
just
to
sort of
that?
goes, "Oh, right."
She says, oh, right.
Yeah.
So this important information which you're imparting that you've garnered during the day, her response to that is, oh, right.
Yeah.
So-
and then I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say there's worms with teeth.
I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say I'm going to bring out the good big guns now.
Imagine-
Right, she's ignoring me. Okay, wait for this.
Wait.
Suzanne, I see you. You're ignoring me. Yeah. Worms with teeth. Oh God, amazing.
Oh, God.
So what does she say to worms have teeth?
I can't remember. She just sort of said, "Oh, have you got the facts right?" I said, "Yeah." That's kind of it. And she'll either go, "Oh, right," or she'll. I mean, it's pretty rare that it's anything more than that.
So it's not a conversation, really.
No.
Because the response twice now has been, oh, right.
Right. So she's looking forward to some scampi and chips. She hands over your bounty. You go, "Oh, they do 3." Yeah, whatever. Right. What happens next? Take us through.
I'll sort of say, "You got anything to report? Anything gone on today?" And she knows it's. I sort of phase off again. It's like a phone call. She'll go, "Oh, so and so's leaving or whatever," and I don't know these people, and I'm not that interested.
And she senses that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she'll go, "Oh, have you paid the insurance?" I go, "No, I forgot." She'll go, "Yeah, I told you to do that." I said, "Yeah, but I've been doing the tiling." She's going, "Yeah, but you weren't meant to do the tiling. I asked you to sort the insurance out on the washer because the washer keeps breaking." And she won't let me fix it, even though I know what it was. It was a heating element. I said, I know how to fix that. But she was going, "No, I don't want you messing with it because if you flood the kitchen out, it's, makes a mess." So anyway, so I've got to sort that out. I still haven't done it. I should have done that today. Then have a game of crib.
Oh God! Oh
It's like being in an old people's home.
I know, but I'll tell you what. Put the telly on because there's some flump on there that might give you an insight.
No,
No?
not until... like I've said to you before, unless she knows what she's putting it on for, it doesn't go on.
Right.
None of this flicking
So
it
when
on.
she says, "Let's put the telly on," you go, "Okay, Suzanne, what are we going to watch?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what...
And
what
she goes, "Well, I don't know. Should we have a look what's on?"
I say, "Look what's on first."
But have you got a Radio Times or a TV?
Yeah, I've got like a magazine that comes with a paper at the weekend.
Okay.
Look through that. If there's anything on your fancy, we'll look at it. If not, we don't need it on. Put the radio on.
Right.
And then she has a look and she'll go, The Apprentice is on. I'll go, okay, you can have it on.
Right.
If she goes, oh, I can't remember a time when I've said, no, you're not having that on.
You're quite patriarchal, aren't you, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean?
Well, that the man of the house rules the roost.
Yeah, you pretty
Not
much lay the
really.
rules down, don't you?
No, because she still does what she wants. Even though I'm saying you're clumping about again, making a racket, she does it more. But it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like it. And so you've had a lovely game of crib with Suzanne, because, you know, the magic's still there. And what time do you hit the sack?
Don't know, about 11.
Do you go to bed at the same time?
Yeah. So that's it, yeah, that's
So,
the day, really.
well, hang on, we haven't finished yet. So, any conversation before bed?
Depends if the radio's on. I might say, look, here's that story about the worm.
Yeah.
And then she'll go, yeah, but look, it hasn't got teeth. It said this, that and the other. And I'll go, oh, yeah, forgot.
Good night.
That's the end of that, really.
Another day closer to death.
Well, that was a free podcast. I suppose we'd call that a day in the life of Karl Pilkington. That's a little thank you to all the fans who bought the audiobooks.
It's not much of a gift, is it?
Wow, it's something, isn't it? I mean, I know Karl did it begrudgingly, but thank you for downloading the audiobooks all these years. Karl's very grateful, really. It means he can go and buy as much grouting as he'll ever need. And thank you to people who've bought the book, An Idiot Abroad, and watched the programme. If you still can't get enough Karl, the DVD An Idiot Abroad is out. That's a lovely Christmas gift for all the family. Order that now at amazon.co.uk or Calm or
Yeah,
HMV
or your retailer
or Play.
of choice. Your retailer,
Any retailer of choice. Or go out and buy it. Go out for
get
a
off your
walk.
arse and buy it.
Go out for a walk and buy An Idiot Abroad on DVD and the book. And what a lovely Christmas gift the Ricky Gervais show would make as well on DVD.
Animated ramblings from the round-headed moron.
Some people don't even realise that The Idiot Abroad is Karl Pilkington from the Ricky Gervais show. If you're on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace, or if you've got just friends you actually talk to via the mouth, then tell them if they enjoyed An Idiot Abroad to get the Ricky Gervais show on audiobook or DVD. And while you're at it, buy my new stand-up on DVD, Science.
No, I don't know, Rick. That seems a shameless plug.
Yeah. Well, what was all the other shit then?
Yeah, that was just talking to the fans.
That's
Whereas,
because you get a third of all the other stuff.
all right, let's not reduce it to money.
Karl's on it.
On what?
On the Science DVD. I've done a special programme where I interview him for Science, which is amazing. But my favourite bit is probably when he meets Warwick Davis. I stitched him right up. He thought he was going to have a talk about science. We hid Warwick, right?
Well, that's not hard, is it?
We had to keep him in a different room, and then Karl sat down, thought he was talking about science, and I went, got a little fella, and Warwick walks out, and your little face, and Warwick confronted him over some of the words he's used. Midget.
Yes, I remember the famous midget hippopotamus story.
Yeah.
I'm sure you used the word midget there far too many times.
Yeah. So there's a few things to buy at Christmas. Go out and buy one of our DVDs or books. This was free. Now pay for something. David Bowie, Sorrow, on XFM 104.9. Nearly there, but, you know, we're working our way up to the grand finale. The bit where Karl spouts absolute nonsense from a dodgy source on the internet about a monkey who did something impossible.
Let's cue up the jingle.
Hang on. Alright.
Perfect.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news!
Right. Let's have a look. This one's from some woman, right?
Yeah.
And she was taking part in the London to Brighton bike ride, right? Lovely day, weather's good and everything.
What year?
She's just a couple of months ago. She's done all the training, right? Done all the training and stuff. Got a brand new bike for it. Got a little puncher outfit and stuff, all set for the day, right? It's a nice day. She sets off. They all start pedalling and that on the way to Brighton, right? So she knows the route and that. Got her little headphones on, cycling along. Suddenly...
Right, okay, I'm going to stop you now. If a cyclist overtakes her, and it's going really fast, and it's sort of hunched over, but it's got like lots of cycling gear on and a helmet and goggles, and they can't tell what it is, but they just know it's like a little hairy fella who hasn't bothered shaving his legs, which is weird, isn't it? Because cyclists usually shave their legs, and this guy had really hairy legs. But and it won. They gave it the medal. It won 3 years running. They gave it the key to the city. It had its own game show, and then someone said, "Hold on, though, this fella's sort of hunched over, and he's only 3'5", and his arms are longer than his body. It's a chimp. If it goes anywhere near that, we're never doing it again."
More monkey news next week.
She's cycling
So
along.
anyway, she's cycling along, right? And this tricycle.
I couldn't predict that.
There's always one element you can never anticipate.
yeah. Got a kiddie's tricycle with a little kid on it, little hairy kid with a helmet. Okay, just go on then.
The tricycle comes
Whizzing past, yeah.
him.
Strong legs in those chimps.
So she's thinking that's, but didn't get a chance to see the thing.
Oh yeah, couldn't quite see the cyclist. Oh God! You bald mank git. Go on. Yeah, research scientist Karl Pilkington.
So anyway, she gets to the end line, right? And they got talking. It was a nice day, nice race and all that. So did you see a little thing on a tricycle?
Thing? Well, a person, surely, just a human. Did you see that? No. Did you see that bloke on the tricycle?
So anyway, turns out.
Tricycle.
Yeah! Well, what did you say thing? Well, no, there's no suspicious. I mean, what did you say? Did you see that fellow on a tricycle?
Anyway, so it turns out
Go on.
it was a chimp.
You're joking!
Right.
Well, Christ almighty, there you go. Unbelievable, and it was a chimp all along.
So anyway, right, so the woman's like
We're never doing this again.
checking out the news, right? There's nothing on it. She checks out XFM Monkey News.
Right, okay, I'll
I
stop
don't
you there
mention
again.
it.
Right, if it turns out she does on the news, right, and the circus goes, we're looking for our chimp, it used to ride this tricycle, and it escaped with police chasing it.
No. So she listened to XFM, see if I'd picked up on the story.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't have it and stuff. So she got in touch with the organisers of the London to Brighton bike ride, said, look, saw a little hairy fella.
Why did she care?
Because she wanted to know, she thought it was a bit odd. Turns out it was a chimp. They weren't happy about it. Of
course not.
Because now the owner of the chimp wants to enter it into the Tour de France.
I'm gonna die! Oh God!
In 2005.
Now, a couple of questions. I trust you'll be able to answer these.
Oh God! Steve, help me out.
How did it get hold of the tricycle?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. That's not an important point.
Like, that's important.
How
What's
did
the matter
it-
with you, Steve? He doesn't know that.
How did it know to... well, firstly, how did it know which way to cycle, but more importantly, how did it know there was a major bike ride on that day?
Just following the crowd,
No,
Steve.
no.
What's the matter with you?
The owner of it had trained it and stuff.
No, it hadn't!
It had already done the run beforehand, before the big day.
No, it hadn't.
Like I say, it wants to do the Tour de France in 2005.
No, it doesn't.
But there's something about animal rights. If they don't let it enter, they can kick up a bit of a fuss.
The animal rights is that it's cruel to make a chimp ride a bicycle.
Not if it
that
wants
it's
to.
prejudice that it'll go, is it because I is hairy? You idiot!
Right? So,
Wow, that is the worst. That is the worst one yet. Absolute twaddle. Absolute rubbish, Carl.
Have you got a tricycle?
Unbelievable.
One of the prizes on Carl's competition this week is the very best Led Zeppelin, that's obviously rock and roll. We've also got Live Forever, Britpop CD, Marion and Jeff, and Red Dwarf. And should we play it again? So people have got another chance?
Chinese kid.
Who are the artists?
here we go.
It's tricky, it's not very easy. Once more.
One more.
Quite hard.
there you go.
Ricky
Email
Gervais at xfm.co.uk. Those prizes can be yours. I, at the quiz, also discovered, of course, and I don't know, I'm just intrigued to know, Carl, I'm just intrigued to know. It was your girlfriend's birthday, wasn't it? Earlier in the week? Or last week?
On Monday, yeah.
And
you get?
I mean, obviously, it was a triumph with the stuff you got her for Christmas.
The condoms.
The box of condoms.
Box set of condoms.
Oh yeah,
not just the singles, the whole set.
yeah, a complete collection.
Brilliant.
So what did you get for this
What did you
time?
get her?
Yeah, but
No, yeah, but it's her birthday. How long have you been together?
about 9 years.
Okay, so, ooh, God, it must cost you so much. every
No, but it
birthday.
starts getting tricky, doesn't it? Because I spoiled her a lot in the first few years.
Yeah.
So then you
Here's a
start-
packet of rubber bands. Enjoy them.
Oh.
Well, it's what she wanted. I
Okay.
mean, you're making out as if
No, everyone wants paper clips. Come on, what did you get her?
got her a new pair of gloves.
Right.
Alright, well.
And
What, nice leather ones from Selfridges or Howard's or something?
They were good ones, the sort she likes. So they were.
Well, they weren't the little woolen ones that she had.
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke when she said he got me these, because I laughed.
No, but I know that's the one she did have.
When they said it was his birthday, it was her birthday Monday, and me and Steve wanted to get her, and she went, he got me these, because she had those little woolen gloves on. I laughed, because I thought she was joking, Carl.
That's what she wanted. I've told you before about buying presents.
does those gloves have your name sewn in them? And a piece of string that ran over the back of your duffel coat.
You know, I've never been into getting presents and that. I had the problem at that Christmas one, that time with the Victoria Plum.
Yeah, we'd hate that. We'd hate to bring that back.
We've done that.
Because you talked about the book, because it's kind of to do with your dad, isn't it? He's a very bad gift buyer. Was that the problem?
Well, yeah, my dad just wouldn't bother. It was my mum who sort of made an effort, and she sort of worked out half of what I wanted, then she left it to my dad to get it off someone, see if he could get one cheap or whatever.
I love the fact that usually people talk about, like, drinking heavily
Yeah.
or violent abuse, right?
Yeah.
But here's what he's been left with and scarred with from parents is bad gift buying.
Yeah, and
That's
the
not so
Victoria
bad, is
Plum
it?
incident.
In the greater scheme of things in the world,
Yeah, but-
that's not a bad thing to have, is it?
What? Say it again?
If an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
I can't imagine him saying
No, I
daft.
can't.
No, well, it was something like that, though, meaning that every new idea seems a bit mental,
Yeah,
right?
it's a good
But
point.
then it leads to something.
Well,
I'm not sure that but
no.
I think if we were sat with Einstein now and you'd brought up the machine that allows doctors to feel, I don't think he'd be saying we should pursue that idea.
There's some ideas that go, I think the Earth might be round. People go, oh, it is flat. And then there's people who stand in doorways covered in crucifixes with tinfoil on their head, saying Jesus is in my cock.
Yeah. But
Now he's a mentalist.
yes, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't you have said it was mental years ago when someone said, I'm going to make a machine so I can look inside your head? Years on, hello, get in the machine, we've got an MRI scanner. It's the next one along.
You'd go, they'd go, well, why are you looking in their head? It's where the brain is.
I'll tell you what,
Go on.
we've got similar to it anyway, because I've read about this machine where, right, say if, put it on Steve, right?
Go on.
I wear a camera on my head.
Right, if this is going to be I can see Steve's thoughts.
No, but it's similar to that, and it works as well. So, I put a camera on Steve's head.
Okay, it's changed already. Whose head's the camera on?
I don't think it matters.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
okay, well, okay,
Let's
okay.
put
Just
the
explain
camera on
it to
Steve's head.
Okay,
right,
okay,
we've got a
camera's-
camera on Steve's head.
Right,
What I've got on my head are some goggles.
right,
Over your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
You've got the camera. Through my goggles, I'm seeing what your camera's seeing.
And where's the camera? Is it looking out from my eyes?
Yeah. Right?
So basically you can see what I can
So
see.
I'm seeing what you see.
But couldn't you
just
just
a
stand where I'm standing?
Well, that's just a monitor. Well, that happens now. Yeah, you can
listen,
all have the
I
same
haven't
monitor.
Hang on.
finished.
So
Okay.
wait.
So, how does it work now? Hang
Well,
on a
no,
minute.
wait. We're
Hang
all,
on a minute.
you're, this is you're at the Royal College of Surgeons. You're presenting this idea now. Everyone in the world is sat down here. The eminent scientists are going, "Carl Pilkington, he's a genius. He's got an idea for cameras and goggles."
No, you're saying it already exists.
This has just come out the other week.
Oh, okay.
Put a camera on Steve's eyes. He sees through the camera.
What
I've
do you
got
mean?
the goggles
Why
on.
is he seeing through a camera? I don't know what you mean. He's just got is it
Wherever he
filming
wherever he looks, the camera's looking.
Okay, so it's a camera, right? Okay,
It's
yeah.
a camera on his head.
He's not seeing through it. It's just seeing what he sees because it's pointing in exactly the same direction as his
Yeah,
eyes.
if he turns his head to the right,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
will see.
So it's monitored to you. So you're looking at a monitor, really.
Right. So one of the simplest ideas, but it's taken us 20 minutes to explain it. Okay, go on.
So it's the same as a cameraman pointing the camera anywhere. We're watching the telly. We're seeing what the cameraman sees, basically. Go on then.
But it's not like
you
that.
just invented television. Well done.
Okay, right. So I've got the camera on my head. It's seeing what I'm seeing. Go.
Right.
You've got goggles on your eyes.
I've got goggles on. If you turn right, I feel like I'm turning right.
Okay.
Now my
Yeah.
brain gets to a point that if you wear it for long enough, that brain thinks it's you. Because what happens is, because the brain's being kidded. At the end of the day, my brain thinks it's seen everything because my eyes are looking at stuff.
Yeah, no, that's true, but it doesn't think I'm Steve Merchant. It experienced what Steve's seen this like a virtual reality.
No, but that's the weird thing. If you wear it for long enough, the brain's sort of seeing it like Steve's arm go up to his head and scratch it, and it gets to a point where the brain feels a scratch, even though it's not scratching my head. So they're saying this is like, you're kidding your brain, basically.
I can see how
kick your
that would
brain.
work.
But you're not going to believe that you're me.
No, you're not
going
believing
to
you're Steve
start
Merchant.
experiencing life as I experience it.
My brain would.
What do you mean your brain would, but you wouldn't?
Because I'm kidding. I'm kidding the
We've
brain.
done this.
Yes, but you couldn't kid it into thinking you're me. You wouldn't forget that you're Carl wearing a contraption.
But what it was saying is, if someone went up to your stomach and started tickling you, my brain would look down and see that someone is tickling me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'd start laughing.
I can understand you
No,
might.
you wouldn't. No, you would. Well, yeah, you might do because it might be a confusing
But
stimulus.
yes, but the point is, there may be certain physical things which you experience through it, but you're not going to stop thinking, "Hang on, I'm Carl wearing the mask." Are
No.
you?
But you can do that.
You're
can
thinking
kid-
you're thinking you're Carl, seeing all the things that
Yeah,
actually
you're going to
Steve's
start
doing,
having memories that you think are what your memories are going to change? You're not going to remember your name, you're not going to remember Suzanne's name? What are you talking about?
No, but say if we did that at that event with a load of students in front of us, I'd remember that day through your eyes.
Right.
So I'd
yeah,
be living your day.
But you'd also remember
that's
that you were
your
wearing
life.
a contraption.
Yeah.
You wouldn't remember it as being, oh, I was Steve Merchant for a day.
But I
Yeah,
kind
we'd
of
have different
was.
thoughts because you'd access. But look, Carl, listen. I sat down and we watched the same thing. We watched a bit of Brokeback Mountain, and we
Yeah.
all had different thoughts.
Yeah, because we're all sat in different places.
No, roughly speaking, we had the same experience when we're looking at the same thing. But it doesn't mean you assess it the same way, it doesn't mean you understand it the same way, and it doesn't mean you apply the knowledge in the same way.
No, I understand that, but
It's an interesting experiment. It is interesting. It'd be interesting to see it live. You're actually living. It's a different window to the world.
well, yeah. Say if like I was a fellow with no arms and legs, but these goggles had a really long lead, and you went about living your day, and I was looking through your eyes, I could have quite an interesting life.
Yes, you could, but
Without
you
the
wouldn't
hassle.
stop remembering that you're the person wearing the contraption.
And also,
But what is life?
Yeah,
Life
but
is what you experience.
Yeah, but
and-
if Steve went off, but you'd know this, wouldn't you? I mean,
well, would you? If you stuck one on a baby,
Well, yeah, that's different. Yeah,
Well,
I
there
mean,
you go.
if a baby knew no different, and those were his experience, then he would be feeling what he thought he was. Then there'd be nothing. But then, you know, let's face it, tickling someone is the sensation. It's not the thought. It's not the concept of being
no, it's
tickled
not
is
though,
funny.
because if someone goes to tickle you, but they don't tickle you, you can actually laugh, can't you? Because you go, oh god, I know what the feeling's going to be like.
Yes, because you've already experienced the real thing.
Yeah. I still think. there's
Well,
something in
stop
it.
with that. Stop that sentence there, and you're lying.
Let's go back, if we may, shall we, to just some of the extraordinary early developments in medicine. Do you mind if we
Yes.
go back, just get back on message? There are, of course, a number of extraordinary developments. You may obviously be aware, Carl, that the first contraceptive diaphragms, centuries ago, were citrus rinds. Half an orange rind, for instance, would be used.
I mean, more selfish men turned them inside out.
I believe that's also still being used in parts of Manchester.
For what?
An orange. Just think of your head.
And it worked.
Well, we don't know at this juncture.
I mean, maybe. I don't
It
know.
worked as a contraception because women went, "Fuck off! What are you going to me with a fucking orange on your cock for, you dirty cunt?"
But it could. I mean, again, it's that thing innit of we look at it now and we laugh, but look at what's happening. People now are always trying to get us to eat more fruit.
I don't.
Amazing.
That's a way of getting.
I thought for a minute he was going to say, okay,
know.
so they start with, then they went from the orange rind to say a coconut shell.
Yeah.
That was too big. That didn't work.
Run! Here
Yeah.
comes Coconut John!
No, don't put half a pineapple on your cock. That's insane.
Yeah, that's mental.
And then somewhere down the line, they finally got to contraception as we understand it. Is that? I thought that's where you're going, but no. Something about eating oranges is healthy for you.
What I'm saying is, if you go into any well-known supermarket and you look at, say, some young kid who's had a kid, and you look at stuff in their shopping basket, they're not buying fruit. They're buying, burgers and chips.
Turkey Twizzlers.
Yeah, crisps and all that. No, but they love having it away. Get some fruit in. So they definitely have fruit in the house, which at the moment, a lot of kids don't have fruit in their house. That's why they're eating Turkey Twizzlers. But the mum loves having it away. So she would have loads of fruit in. So
if she
everyone's
was,
happy.
If
the
she
kids
was
are
using
eating
an
fruit.
orange for contraception, she would also be giving the kids.
Well, you wouldn't waste
so half
it.
the orange she'd give to the kids, and half the orange she'd stick up her penny.
Yeah, a treat for everyone. Have a bit of fruit, and she's got what she wants. Whereas at the moment, what happens? A burger's not coming in helpful for anyone.